We'll probably go back to the court format next time, but just because we had a request to do from a listener to do more of a chat, we're going to chat it out for this one.
Yes. So we're going to do the Beast of Bladenboro.
In North Carolina.
Yep. And this beast is very time specific, only seen between 1953 and 1954. Although I have heard that maybe there have been some sightings since. But the main story is from 1953, 1954.
Right. Basically, there were attacks on mostly dogs, and I think a few farm animals.
A rabbit, a goat.
And I read about someone where the beast was like charging them, but I don't think they were attacked.
It attempted to attack a woman and she ran away.
Yeah, so something...
Or she screamed at it and then ran away.
Apparently was killing these dogs and other animals. And from descriptions, it could have been some kind of large cat.
Mm-hmm. They said it had a cat-like face. However, they also said it was a vampire because all of the victims were totally drained of blood. Yeah. So there's a lot, there are many layers to this. So first of all, most of the stories say that it had a cat-like face and it was really big and it was black. Mm-hmm. However, I saw a lot of other stories where it was a wolf. It was a big wolf, or maybe a few other stories. And I saw some other ones where it wasn't black. It was sort of a tawny color.
Yeah.
So they can't agree on the details. Yeah. And another one where it was spotted.
Like a leopard.
Right.
Another one, and then there was some dog that people thought it was, like a German Shepherd.
Oh, yeah, it was some dog, mixed breed, mixed German hound, German Shepherd hound.
Big Boy or something.
Big Boy. Some guy had given it away to another person because, I don't know, he'd just given away the dog and he thought maybe it had come back. I guess it was a really aggressive dog or something.
Although it would be weird for a dog to kill like that.
Well, so... Yes, the victims, which were, again, mostly dogs, were crushed or decapitated, which is very brutal. And again, they were sometimes drained of blood, according to reports. So it wasn't just some animal is killing our animals. It seemed very vicious. And especially because when you see the pictures, of the goat, it doesn't look like it's been eaten at all. So it seems malicious rather than an animal killing for food. So what are your thoughts on this?
So when I first was reading just a little bit about this, and there was the whisperings of it being a large cat, I was like, well, that sort of makes sense. Because if there's the whole thing in the UK with big cats escaping from private owners, surely that's happened in the US. But if you look at the reports themselves, they vary so much, and the way that animals were killed and everything, it feels suspicious.
Suspicious in what way?
Well, I don't know. I'm acting as if I'm going to have a twist ending to this. I'll just say right now there's claims that this may have been a bit of a publicity stunt.
Right. Yeah, so the mayor of the town, at first he was all in on this phenomenon. He had all these search parties he organized search parties to find
hundreds of, at one point
500 people.
It was 500, 800, and then at one night it was 1,000 people were going out.
Yeah, so people were coming from out of town to hunt the beast of Bladenboro, and he was publishing in the paper. He did a lot of publicity for it, and then when they caught the bobcat, he put it on a pole in the town center, and he said, "The beast has been caught," something like that, and he continued doing publicity for it, and it's still an event every year in Bladenboro, some sort of but when he was asked about it later, he did say that the story was 90% imagination, 10% truth, as in maybe some animals were killed sort of brutally, but a lot of it was made up for publicity. So I wrote down what I thought which parts might have been imagination. So I thought maybe the size was exaggerated, in which case perhaps it was a bobcat or a coyote. I thought the color was exaggerated or stretched to match because, again, some people said it was black, some people said it was spotted, some people said it was tawny, and some people said it was a wolf.
How many of the sightings do you remember were at night?
Maybe a lot, maybe almost all of them. I don't know.
So it might have been hard to judge size and color if it was dark.
And I also think something that might have been exaggerated for the press was the crushing as well as the sucking of blood, because I don't know that any animal would actually suck the blood of its victims and then leave them there. Maybe they were scared off before they could eat them. And the crushing just seems weird. And why would you decapitate them as well? Maybe that was just an accident of the kill or something. Someone else said that their bikes were crushed as well, which again is probably just like, well, I thought maybe that could be exaggeration, but I also thought there could have been some teenagers who were buying it, like they thought the hype was really exciting and that it was a good time to pull pranks, so maybe they crushed or decapitated, like in a more innocent way, maybe they crushed the bikes, and in a more horrible way, maybe they decapitated the pet rabbit or something, just because they're teenagers and they're bad. So that could be the exaggerated bits. And then the truth is just that, again, there's some
there's probably some,
out.
like, one of the initial killings probably was some, like, by a wild animal that was pretty gruesome, and then it sort of snowballed into there's a beast going around.
So now let's talk about what animal do you think it was?
I guess some kind of a bobcat. Do mountain lions are in that region, aren't they?
See, this is an interesting thing, because most sites I was reading said that there aren't any mountain lions in this part of North Carolina. It's by the coast, and there haven't been mountain lions there for hundreds of years. However, there's the Carolina Panthers. They're a sports team, and their mascot is the panther because there used to be a subspecies of mountain lion there, the Carolina panther, which is depicted as black, which again is weird because I looked it up and there doesn't seem to be any melanism in
proven case
mountain lions.
But
however,
it's sort of like
it's very interesting that this is all like wrapped together in myth or folklore, which is the idea of a black, large mountain lion from the Carolinas. So there's that, and this is not around anymore, the Carolina mountain lion. However, you also have to think about how mountain lions are very good at wandering, and they've been increasing their range since we stopped hunting them in like the 70s or whenever it happened. So there could have just been one random mountain lion that happened to be there for a few days and then left after it got freaked out by all the people. Yeah.
Especially since, like, I get a lot of comments sometimes on the cryptid videos, like people saying that, people say there's no mountain lions in this part of the U.S., but there have been some. But I think the distinction is that, like you said, they're not native to that area. They've just wandered. So they're from the west, but the eastern mountain lion is extinct. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Another thing I thought it might be, if you're insisting that it's black, which again, probably not true, is a jaguar. Same sort of idea. Jaguars are native to North America. There could have been a really crazy one that wandered up from Mexico and was black. Like, I mean, it's within the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Or it could have just been a bobcat.
Or a pet black leopard.
Yeah.
Or popular pets.
It could have been someone's pet, but I don't know. I feel like this...
I don't think that's super likely, but I just know that when exotic pets were like a big thing, black leopards were really popular. And it's more common for a leopard to be black than a jaguar.
There are a lot of sort of amateur zoos in that area, like the Carolinas and stuff. So that could happen. I could see that. Especially in the 50s. Like there aren't any regulations back then.
Yeah, I think North Carolina is still a bit loose on like exotic pet regulations.
Yeah, I'm saying it is now, and before it was probably even more so.
Yeah.
And again, there's also the thing that it could be a coyote. However, I think since most people said it looked like a cat, it's probably a cat.
Yeah, that's what I'd say too. I heard some people say that it could have been a wolf.
Right.
And then that wolves weren't in that region, but some people claimed to see them.
Right. It's the same sort of thing as a mountain lion, I would say.
But I guess bobcat is the most likely, and people just... like a big bobcat, and people maybe exaggerate it a little.
Yeah. I would say most likely would be a big bobcat or a wandering mountain lion.
Yeah. And then it escalated, almost hoaxed a little.
Yeah, and again, about the crushed bikes, I think that was just some stupid kids.
Yeah, why would a big cat go over and start vandalizing people's bikes?
I don't know.
Okay. So I feel like we've reached an agreement.
Yeah, well, this wasn't an argument. This was just a discussion.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we'll agree either.
Yeah, so tell us if you agree. Tell us if you have any theories of your own about the beast of Bladenboro. Tell us if you're from this area and you've heard about it or have any family stories or anything. Yeah.
I would like to hear. I know there was a documentary that I tried to find a place to watch it, but I couldn't find.
What documentary?
I think it's just called The Beast of Bladenboro, but it's not released on Netflix or Amazon. It was released on like a streaming service I'd never heard of.
I watched this short documentary on YouTube where they were interviewing some kids who weren't alive at this time, but I guess they'd heard stories from their grandparents and Like one kid was talking about, they all had their own individual stories of how the beast affected them. So that's how I learned about the crushed bikes. He was like, oh yeah, it crushed our bikes. Like, okay, kid. And another one was saying how, their goat was killed. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were all saying that they think it's still out there. They think that maybe they're going to see it again or something.
Well, that's the thing. Once you have one cryptid sighting, or it gets into the like zeitgeist, and you have people like primed to think there's something out there, like you're gonna misidentify something. And if you have that idea in your mind like that, whether it's real or not, I feel like it's never gonna go away.
One kid said something interesting in the YouTube video. He said, lots of hunters come around here, like it's a very popular place to hunt, and the person who kills the beast of Bladenboro is not going to be very popular around here.
Right, yeah.
Because, like, they love the animal, even though it has done some bad stuff. It's never killed a human, for one thing, and it's a cult classic. It's a very popular pet or animal around there.
Imagine if someone went to Scotland and
killed Loch
Ness
Ness monster. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about the more discussion format versus the court format.
Because some people have said that they love the court format, and some people have said they wish it was just a discussion.
So maybe we'll
hard. Alternate,
maybe? We'll see.
Yeah.
So let us know. You can comment below, or you can send a question to our email. You can tell us about what you think about Cryptid Court, or any thoughts or questions you have. And that's at thewildworldpodcast@gmail.com. That's thewildworldpodcast@gmail.com.